I mean,
hello, darlings. Hello, darlings. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday here in Los Angeles, and we are getting, literally, darling, we are getting absolutely pummeled by the rain. Steve, good morning to you. Good morning to everybody
good morning.
the world. I want to say good morning to everybody in the world this morning. You wouldn't believe it, what happened yesterday. I got my third flat tire in Los Angeles. The third flat tire in 3 months, the second in 5 days. I'm telling you, I've got this BMW i7, which is an electric car, fully electric, and I can virtue signal all over the place. Look at me in my electric car, how much I love the environment compared to you. And astonishingly, I hit another small pothole. Boom, the whole tire goes. I don't know if the electric cars are so heavy or what the deal is, but I do know this. The streets of Los Angeles are a disaster. They are a disaster, and they continue to go uncared for. I will say that in a massive way. In fact, let me begin there, if I may. I'm a little hot this morning. Why? Because it's the year of the horse. We'll get to that. Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, has called for the resignation of Casey Wasserman, who is the chairman of the Los Angeles 28 Olympic Committee, the committee in charge of bringing the Summer Games to Los Angeles in 28. Karen Bass has no business calling for the resignation of anyone. She is the worst mayor in the history of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles fires, don't forget, she was on a presidential trip to Ghana when the Los Angeles fires happened. The weather reports days before all said this was happening. She blamed the fire chief, Kristen Crowley, for sending 1,000 firefighters home the day before. Why didn't she bring them back the day it happened? Karen Bass absolutely punted on that. We have a terrible homelessness problem here in Los Angeles that Karen Bass can't seem to get a hold of. The potholes all over this. The city is in disrepair. This is the worst mayor ever in Los Angeles. And she's calling for the resignation of Casey Wasserman, who exchanged a dozen emails with Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003. March, April 2003, way before anything was ever known by him or anyone else about Ghislaine. Not for another, and that was no contact, by the way, between Casey Wasserman and Jeffrey Epstein. None. Just one trip on an airplane, Jeffrey Epstein's airplane, to Africa with Bill Clinton's foundation. Okay. Again, Chris Tucker, Ron Burkle, both on that plane as well. He exchanged a dozen emails with Ghislaine afterwards. I'm thinking about you. They were sexy. They were flirty. His wife, Casey's wife at the time, by the way, Casey was 29 when this happened. He's now 51. Wife was on the trip with him on the Epstein plane, Mrs. Wasserman. Now, was it appropriate to exchange flirty texts with a younger Ghislaine Maxwell back in 2003 after the trip? Was he a horn dog at the time? Was he a perfect man? I don't know. But I don't think the execution of the guy as a 51-year-old is appropriate, and certainly not appropriate by Karen Bass. Karen, quiet. You're a disaster. Take it from me, a Los Angelino. Anyway, her fire department budget cuts, by the way, left the fire department completely handicapped to take on the LA fires. Imagine the nerve of this woman. I'm sorry. It is outrageous. Casey, disregard her. By the way, we need Casey Wasserman on this podcast. I want to talk to him. I feel like he boy, I have a real. They're going after this guy. I know what that feels like. Yeah, you're going after the wrong guy. So you go after a guy that's, sitting right there. I know what it feels like. Okay, moving on. It's the year of the horse. Did everybody Google the what you're supposed to do or ChatGPT? How do you usher out the year of the snake to welcome in the year of the horse? Kind of cool, right? So last night I wrote down all the terrible things I did in the year and thoughts that I had and fears that I let creep in and take me over. I wrote them all down on a piece of paper and I wore red and I played music, other things ChatGPT told me to do. I wrote all that list of my fears and failures and secrecies and things that I regret, right? I wrote them all down and I went outside and I lit them on fire. Then I wrote down all the things that I do want, the bold action I want to take. Most of it has to do with right here on Hot Mics, amplifying our voice, building our platform. So, Steve, I did that for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel real strong about it right now. I don't know. I feel like the year, though, I hear the galloping hooves of success.
Yes.
I feel
like that. I like the fire too. I don't know enough about it, but the fact the fire in the horse that's like spirit animal in my head.
Yeah, it's a fiery horse. It's a good year, man. It's a year for bold action. Right? Don't sit around and kind of wait for things to happen. Bold action in your private life and in your professional life. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing that tonight, says Trotman. Trotty is going to, Hotsy is going to go out and write down a long list of all the things. She's going to burn that shit. Just let it go up in the air. I love that. According to an astrologist, children born the year of the horse, bold, confident, ambitious children. So hop in the sack, everybody, and have a baby. Or support those who are newly married and tell them it's time. You want a child born in the year of the horse. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie here for a second. Oh, Nancy, I'm in a shrinking crowd, I believe. People think that Nancy Guthrie, most people don't have an optimistic view of where she is and her status as of now. I do. I believe she's okay, and I believe the year of the horse has begun today, and I believe Nancy Guthrie something great is going to happen this week, something that is uplifting and good, and she will be the face of the year of the horse as she gallops back into our consciousness. I don't know why. I don't know that others share that with me, but Brian Enton will be with us tomorrow on Hot Mics, and we will get the latest. For some reason, I think we'll have something to talk about tomorrow that we don't even know about right now. But according to the sheriff of Pima County, Chris Nanos, no family members of Savannah Guthrie's are suspects. And furthermore, he said, suggesting otherwise is cruel. So leave the family alone. There you go. Guys, can we talk about Jesse Jackson? The Reverend Jesse Jackson. Fro, he had great sideburns. Look at the look. Founder of the Rainbow Push Coalition. Jesse Jackson, he is just seared in my mind and in my heart. He ran against my uncle, George H.W. Bush, for president in 1988. Now take a look at this photo right here. Look at the smile on both of their faces. Look at their hands clasped in a full-on bro. The two right shoulders are leaning in here any second now for a little what up. This was a time where opponents, political opponents, look at the smiles on people's faces gathered around them as they hug it out. Jesus, do I miss 1988. Anyway, he was a great civil rights icon. He was the right-hand man to Martin Luther King. He was there in Memphis in 1968 when Martin Luther was shot and killed. He fought hard, shamed corporations for lack of corporate diversity, failure to support voting rights, things that, Trump has squashed with an iron fist. He founded the Rainbow Coalition, which was an alliance of blacks, whites, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans, LGBTQ. It was his attempt to bring everybody under one tent. But he had a rough last half a year. November 12th, he was hospitalized after a long battle with neuromuscular disease, a progressive disease called supranuclear palsy. It's like Parkinson's. And it kind of shut him down. Anyway, he was one of the best known activists, I think, in the world. Certainly in my time, grew up with him. And when I think of Jesse, I think of Jesse Jackson on Saturday Night Live on Weekend Update doing Sam I Am right next to Kevin Nealon. My favorite Saturday Night Live bits of all time. Now, I mean, look, this was from it's controversial now, but remember Darrell Hammond. Darrell Hammond on Saturday Night Live. He used to be like they have, weekly people doing, Tina Fey is the weekly Sarah Palin. And Amy Poehler is the weekly Hillary Clinton. Well, Darrell Hammond was the weekly Jesse Jackson. Now, did he have a little bit of shoe polish on there? I think he did. I don't think they put a ton, but he definitely had a little bit. And Darrell Hammond was a white guy, and he played Jesse Jackson. Face aside, it was some of the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life. And I remember him pulling into Darrell Hammond getting on Weekend Update and him say, "What do I want? You ask me, what do I want? I want shoes on Fred and Barney every time they drive that stone car down the street, courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Say it with me now. Yabba dabba do." And he would go on and do yabba dabba do. Oh my God. And I know they'd cancel him for it today, but people fell off their seats back then. Yeah. Very different. By the way, in no way is this a longing for that. Do not confuse. But damn, that shit was funny. And Jesse laughed harder than anybody. Hey, new tire fund. Oh my God, you're so cute. Yeah, it's $800 for one of those tires. $700. So I'm not wild about Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Mostly it's the fires and homelessness and many other. But tucked into her issues are the streets of Los Angeles and the potholes that are literally everywhere. Here we are. My good man is putting my car on a flatbed for the third time in 3 months and the second time in 5 days. Because if you hit a small, and the BMW electric heavy car, the tires are terrible. Boom! You hit anything and they're gone. There's no spare in the back. You tow it on a flatbed for $800, you get a new one. It's a beautiful racket. It's worse than, iPhone changing the charger every 10 seconds. Anyway, this guy tells me he picks up a lot of these BMW electrics. So guys, fix the tires. And Karen, fix the streets, baby. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, Karen, waste no more time calling for other people to resign their posts, okay? Everybody wants you to resign yours. I am voting for Spencer Pratt for mayor. That's where I am. By the way, I texted Spencer. We'll be having him on Hot Mics. You laugh? Spencer Pratt from Laguna Hills, The Hills, and Laguna Beach, married to Heidi Montag. I know. You're thinking, oh, he's a joke. Give me a break. He's got all the receipts. The man has done more work than you could imagine and is a serious candidate for mayor in Los Angeles. He's a smart guy, by the way. He went to law school and all that. I mean, at USC, and I believe that's correct. Anyway, we'll be having Spencer Pratt on Hot Mics. And I really want Casey Wasserman on Hot Mics. I know somebody who knows him. I'm texting him. I want him in, and I'm going to ask him to come tomorrow. This is immediate. That Karen Bass is calling. And watch out, these followers, right? Oh, did Karen cut? The mayor called for his, should we cut? What do we do? All these sheep. No. Karen Bass, you don't get to call for anybody's resignation. Step down on your own. Only because you do a terrible job as mayor. Terrible. Okay. I'm not saying, I don't know Casey Wasserman very well. I don't. I mean, I think I met him one time. I don't know him very well. And I don't know, he was the perfect human throughout his life. But this shit is, the escalating war on human flaws. The sacking of people for things we all do. No way. Not on my watch. Okay. Oh, I may have buried the lead. I'm in the Epstein Files. Bear with me. Somebody mentions me.
It really is interesting. This is
in passing in the Epstein Files. I've never met Jeffrey Epstein. I've never talked to him. I don't know Ghislaine. No texts, no nothing. Never been in the same room. But there's this woman, put up her picture because she's that's her. She is not she's a German venture capitalist. She's a businesswoman. Nicole Junkerman is her name. And there's many hundreds of emails back and forth between she and Jeffrey Epstein because they were business associates, or she thought so. She thought he was an actual businessman and not whatever the hell he was, which is a blackmail artist. I don't think there's history of any trade that Jeffrey Epstein ever executed, but they would talk about biotech investments and different things. She's 45 now, married to a guy. By the way, married to, I know you're all thinking like, well, if she mentioned you. No, she's married to Count Fernando Bracetti Peretti. For 8 years, they've got a daughter. They call her a countess. She's German. Nicole Junkerman, yeah? And she writes to Epstein regarding Peter Thiel, the billionaire investor. She said, talking about how the Billy Bush tape was not so shocking if you worked on Wall Street. This is back to 2016, and the Trump tape. They call it the Billy Bush tape. Like Steve Bannon called it Billy Bush weekend. Why is this on me? May I remind him? I didn't do any talking here. None. I was talked at and fired for listening and nervously giggling. But the Billy Bush, I think it's because Trump does so many terrible things. You have to name it by other people or else you'll get, lost. It's this is the Epstein Files. It could be the Trump Files, but you have to call it the Epstein Files. Anyway, talking about how the Billy Bush tape was not so shocking if you worked on the Wall Street trading floor, Mr. Thiel says, on the one hand, the tape was clearly offensive and inappropriate. At the same time, I worry there's a part of Silicon Valley that is hyper-politically correct about sex. One of my friends has a theory that the rest of the country tolerates Silicon Valley because the people there just don't have that much sex. They're not having that much fun. This is Nicole Junkerman sending a Peter Thiel quote to Jeffrey Epstein, who responds, bingo. One word. Anyway, that's the extent of my involvement in the Epstein Files. It's not even verified. I don't know. I mean, it was sent to me, but I think it's probably true. It was 2017. So there you go. Right? That's when that email was sent. But there's nothing like a friend texting you, hey, you're in the Epstein Files.
That is.
She said, "What? I don't know. Was I blacked out? I don't remember."
That's right. When your tire popped in the car.
What? Yeah, that's exactly what I hit the pothole. Boom! I could have avoided it. Oh my God. Let's see what's going on here. Billy, Deanne, can you explain why Spencer's sister came out against him? I don't know. Why did Trump's sister come out against him? They know the best. I'm not saying the guy's perfect. But anybody's better than Karen Bass. Believe you me. Oh my God, Steve, I feel like the year of the horse is just, don't always agree with you, but I like you and enjoy your show. Here's the tire fund. Take your car to the dealer as it could be manufacturer or alignment issue. Oh, I know. The flatbed took it to the dealer. And it's there. And it's just, you know what? It's just, oh, boy, do they really run a racket on the tires, man. $800 a tire. Crazy. Have you seen Nicole Kidman's new man? Hey, guys. Have you seen Nicole Kidman's new man? What are you doing there, stud? Look at this guy. Huh? His name is Paul Salem, right? Is that Paul Salem? That's Paul Salem. He is the CEO of MGM International. He's a big casino and venue CEO. So he's a rich guy. He's got his own dough. He doesn't need to, he's not looking for a sugar mama in Nicole Kidman. But you know what? Let's put him back up again. I want to see if I can imagine their romantic life together. Yeah, no, he's a manly guy. I think he can operate. He can operate in a romantic setting with Nicole very successfully. I think and he's got big hands, big arms. Like he's I love Keith, but Keith is slight. So this is going to be a big change. And if you're, if Keith isn't fully over his relationship with Nicole, he's just like, and he didn't have to. Whoa. Ladies, do I speak for you when I say hubba, hubba, hubba? Look at this guy.
I had to get one in the two. We got to give him some justice here.
Whoa,
right?
I was going to say, okay. I mean, you had him on you had him in Sunday drive to the coffee shop attire. Now he's in business execution mode and he looks handsome, powerful. Nicole Kidman is, right, Jules? Oh, yeah. This guy, he is going to order a little champagne, a fine bottle of wine. This guy is not ordering the second, least expensive on the list, which is what most people do.
You know what I sense here, if this works out, is that he is not Keith Urban, right? This is, he's the other way from Keith, right? So
Nicole should have married a proper billionaire, says Joe. The kind that don't need anything. This guy is quite handsome indeed. Let me upgrade you. Wowza. Yeah. Here we go. If a woman had that gut, would you call her womanly? I mean, he can carry it though. And by the way, guys, I hate to say it, just men get away with this stuff more. You know what I mean? They do. It's like, and most women want a man with a little bit of a dad bod. They say, oh my God, look at his body, those washboard abs. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. You know why? Because you feel insecure laying in the bed next to that guy with those ripped abs. It's like, no, don't you want to be the cute one? No. A little bit of, I say I got a washboard with a little bit of laundry on top, and that's the way it is. And I don't want to change. I'm not going to go peptide myself to the point where I'm just like too ripped. I'm going to do a little, by the way. I want to get it just right. But no woman wants to be laying in bed insecure next to the Calvin Klein underwear model. Thank you very much, Sid Sweeney. Oh, looks good to see Sid this morning. You're not wrong, Billy. Well, if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right. He doesn't have a big gut. He's got a little belly, and I don't mind. You see, that's it. It's the little belly, and it's okay. And he's a big guy. But put that picture of him back up in the suit right there, Paul. I mean, I think they are, Nicole he is going to be attentive to Nicole. He is going to pay attention to her, but in a quiet, solid way. He's got his own business and career, CEO of MGM International. That's a big, big job. So he's not just like available to travel with Nicole wherever she goes. She doesn't want that. Don't get on the plane with me and head to location in Canada where we're shooting a new series and be around. No, fly in on the MGM jet, have dinner with me, take me back to the hotel. Let's connect in strong and powerful ways, and then leave and go back to your life and business, and I'll see you when I'm done here. I think that's the vibe these two are going to have. It's perfect for where they are in life.
Billy, I see there might be a stretch, and obviously it's on I see maybe like an Andy Garcia in the smile. Like, I'm going to take care of you. You're going to have good dinners, good nights. A little bit, no? Stretch.
Steve, some of the worst analysis I've ever heard in my life. You're saying that is Andy Garcia? It's
just a gentleman, a good gentleman, take care of things.
Okay.
No. Well,
that's just, I mean,
everybody's entitled.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
I'll see you in a little bit, Bill.
Thanks. Yeah. That's Andy Garcia, but I do love Andy Garcia. Okay. And from new love, we go to a lost life. And by the way, we spoke about Jesse Jackson. Things come in threes. We had James Vanderbeek last week. Heartbreaking. A wonderful guy. I love James. He came and he was one of the mystery guests who surprised me when I was moving on from Access Hollywood to the Today Show. And I had a going away like week, and it was so fun. And they would blindfold me, and a guest would stand behind me, and I'd have to figure out who it is. And it was, one of them was James Vanderbeek, always a good friend. So love him. And then the third, Bobby D. Robert Duvall, his wife Luciana announced yesterday that he was that he had passed on at 95 years old. He loved his horse ranch out there, and I think it's Middleburg. That's outside of DC. His wife Luciana announced that he passed peacefully, which is a beautiful thing. To the world, he was an Academy Award-winning actor, a director, storyteller. To me, he was simply everything. His passion for his craft was matched only by his deep love for characters, a great meal, and holding court. For each of his many roles, Bob gave everything to his characters and to the truth of the human spirit they represented. In doing so, he leaves something lasting and unforgettable to us all. Thank you for the years of support you showed, Bob, and for giving us this time and privacy to heal. I love that he said his passion for his craft was matched only by his deep love for characters, a great meal, and holding court. I mean, God, I said it yesterday in an Instagram post, how I would love to have sat at a dinner party seated next to Bob Duvall while he was holding court. Oh, my Lord. Captive audience. Wouldn't that have been a treat? Bang. The great Bob Duvall. Everybody loved Bob Duvall. And when you're speaking of Andy Garcia, we had Andy on recently, and he told us about he ended up just on his own, sort of serendipitously bringing up the great Duvall.
We would traditionally have these parties. When Robert Duvall was a mutual friend of ours, would come into town, and my friend Willie Marquez, who was very close with Bobby Duvall, great actor and dancer, he would call me and say, Bobby D's coming into town. He wants to have a party, because Robert loved Cuban music and wanted to have a jam and dance.
Really, Bobby D?
Bobby D loved the mambo. He still does, and the tango, and really a good dancer.
Really? He's good on his feet?
Very much so. And a student of both the tango and the mambo. In fact, the first time I met him in a movie in Puerto Rico many years ago, we didn't meet. He came on the set because we hadn't worked together. He says, "Hey, dude, I want to ask you, you dance the mambo on 1 or 2?" And I said, "No, on 2, Bobby." He says, "Of course you got to dance it on 2."
That means what's on 2 is
On the 2, yeah. So on 2, you step on 2. You're not on 1. So anyway, but he was a student of the dance, you know.
Oh, isn't that great? Dance It On 2, Bobby D. Oh my God. Twilight Zone, To Kill a Mockingbird. Robert Duvall was the love of my life. Oh my God, I'm never going to get poked to buy him. This is as bad as me losing my eye last week. Oh, geez. Oh my God. One eye. I'm so sorry. Hard to believe he was Boo Radley. Holy shit, really? Oh my God, was that his first role? Boo Radley. Ooh. The boy down the street who was so weird and odd. Amazing to be such a charming man, right? I love a great Cuban sandwich, a Cubano, most notably found in Miami. Why not? Throw that in there. The great Santini. Secondhand Lions. So many more. Remembering the great Bob Duvall is what we're doing right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh my God. What a wonderful, wonderful actor. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? That's what we're going to watch, Joy. Plus Lonesome Dove. Oh, Andy Garcia, that smile, I know. Told you, my ex-wife, Sydney, early in our marriage, she said, Andy Garcia is the sexiest man alive, Billy. And if he ever showed up on this doorstep, and I know he won't, but if so, I need you to leave. She's going to ride it out the rest of the way with Andy Garcia. I never forgot that. Boy, unbelievable, right? What a man. So, let's see. This is so, I got to say it. I got to do it. Kathy Griffin. She loves to throw people under the bus, and now she's playing the victim. Here she goes. Kathy Griffin is a victim, and she hasn't forgiven John Hamm.
Nobody hates John Hamm except me. And it's so funny.
Why do you hate John Hamm?
Because I used to date a guy that was in his fantasy football league, and I thought Hammy was rude to my boyfriend. And I just thought, ooh, that shows
lucky
like
man.
that character, even though he's an amazing actor. And I hate to admit it, he's even funny. But I
And
would
hot.
and hot. Of course he's hot. And I would just go up to him and I would say, and okay, let me tell you the reason I hate him. One time I got to be at this crazy dinner party with only 8 people, and freaking Jack Nicholson walks in. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Jack Nicholson is talking about like the one topic I would want to ask him about. And then Hammy was wasted. So he's next to me in my ear and he's going, "You're so old. What's it like to be so old? You know, your Emmys are fake Emmys." And I go, no, Hammy, and you don't even have an Emmy. And then I turn back to Jack, who missed the whole thing, but I never forgave Hammy for that.
Hammy? Dropping Jack Nicholson's name? I made a terrible mistake. When that woman was on the cover of whatever magazine holding a severed Trump head, she got canceled and thrown out of the biz, and she fell apart, and she couldn't believe that her friends and colleagues had turned their back on her, and she went into a hole. As a guy who was climbing out of a hole in life, I decided to write her a handwritten note. Only because literally I had no interest in booking her for anything. I wasn't working at the time. I just wrote her a note because I know what it feels like. And I felt like, oh my God, she's been cast out of her village. It's ostracization, right? She's in exile, forced, and she's a human. I wrote her a note and I said, I know what that feels like. I hope you're okay. Thinking about you. This is going to, just a very sweet, loving note. She took my note, didn't respond to it, went on Bill Maher and said, Billy Bush wrote me, like when she was on her way back. She used it as fodder in her stand-up comedy and her appearances publicly to trash me. So good for you, John Hamm. You're, no sympathy from me. Only sympathy for whoever that guy is that was dating her in John Hamm's fantasy football league. Him, I have tremendous, tremendous sympathy for. Poor guy. He's probably still recovering. So she's not a nice person. Anyway, Big Steve. Didn't like her before this ever did. Yeah. I mean, I don't need to, that just needs to be said. Don't feel badly for her. Anyway, this is interesting. This Fox anchor, who's really nice, like lovely, but I don't like this on any side. I don't like this on MSNBC. I don't like this on Fox News when it's so obvious that you are crawling up the butt of the leaders of the party with which your network is affiliated. I hate this. There are no objective people. Like, I often think of like Fox News Channel, like if they ever wanted a moderate guy, that'd be good. I don't think they want a moderate guy. They have one on the 5, they'll put someone in there in its right place, just like The View, would feed Elizabeth Hasselbeck to the wolves. But that's why I like News Nation. You know what I mean? I like what Cuomo's doing there. Anyway, look at this review of the Melania movie. None of this is true.
Past expectations, bringing in more than $7 million at the box office in its opening weekend. Now, that is the most of any non-concert documentary in a decade. Now, legacy film reviewers were so certain that it wouldn't do well. Well, they would be wrong. Emily, my mom went to this weekend in Florida. She said not only was the theater packed, it was, standing room only if you could try to sneak in the back of the theater. People were cheering through it. They were excited. It was interactive. People interplaying with the film. She said it was just electric.
Electric.
Electric. No, your mom did not go. Of all the things that never happened, that never happened the most. Best comment down below. Not true. But just knowing, it's almost like he's watching. He's sitting there having, his breakfast or whatever, and he's watching. Someone told you he'll be watching this morning. That was a broadcast for one. That was not for the audience. That was for the big orange fella watching from the Taft dining room. Okay. We have a busy day. I'm going to say something here at the end. My daughter had to go back to the hospital. So, I guess this can happen, but there's tests that are being done, but there's, I think maybe a couple days, 3 days out after going home, and it was too much, 4 days out. And so there's tests that they're doing, and she was held overnight, and I don't want to say too much, but I'm heading over there now, and it's Lily. It's okay. Not Ellie, but anyway, that's that. And she's in the best hands, best doctors. I feel confident. I'm not worried in any way. So all's good there. Big Steve, you're doing a great job. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. There we go. Prayers and healing vibes. Forget about the car, right? It's like I'm driving. The car goes flat again for the third time in 3 months and second time in a week, in 5 days. I'm waiting for the guy, AAA. I'm sitting there, whatever. I finally get to where I'm going. And I pick up my phone. I'm looking at some emails. And I see a text from my ex-wife, Sydney. We're in the ER. we're back. So I'm like, whoa. I call a friend who works there and at Cedars. Anyway, it's just life. You ever get the feeling that, like, as a parent, it never stops? It never stops. One gets going in the right direction. Okay, good. Don't move. I'll be right back. And you get the other one, and you pick up the other one, and you put that. Okay, there you go. Shit. Whoa, this one fell. And then this one. Okay. You need a third hand. It just doesn't, it doesn't ever stop. It doesn't matter how, I think I'm not like planning. I'm like, okay, when they're 35, it'll be over. Oh, no, it won't. Oh, no. And then I realized it isn't over for my mother. She's done dealing with it. She's done doing anything about it. But right, there's just always something for those that you love, right? And you'll do anything. So you've been a wonderful group this morning. Oh my God, as a recovered TBI person, traumatic brain injury, 40 plus years, my heart goes out to you, your family and daughter. Buy her a goodie on me. Oh, that's so cute. Well, look, we will get through. I have friends who have been, I know several people who have had to relearn how to walk and talk again after a TBI. So she's in the right place with the right people. It's an excellent hospital, and they'll figure it out. So we're good. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Today's Tuesday, right? Back tomorrow. I've got a lot of work to do. I want to talk to Casey Wasserman. Just this takedown shit is crazy. I want to get on that. And what was the other thing I wanted to do, Steve? What?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I mean, Spencer Pratt.
Oh, aim a little higher, Steve. I do know Chris, but he doesn't do podcasts. Played golf with him several times. All right. Stop name dropping, you asshole. Bye. Jesse Jackson. Green eggs and ham. Nancy home. Do it. Bring her home.